Have you ever looked in the mirror and thought, that's not how I feel on the inside? You see the same face, maybe a little softer now, hair that's thinner than it once was, but deep down there's still a spark. A woman with stories, laughter lines, and a whole lot of living left to do. And yet, what's staring back doesn't quite reflect that. It's not vanity. It's something deeper. It's the quiet wish to feel seen again, to walk into a room and feel your presence match your energy, to look in the mirror and think, yes, that's me. She's still here. But somewhere along the way, someone said, after 60, keep it short, blend in, play it safe. They meant well. But maybe, just maybe, it's time to rewrite that idea. Because this chapter of life, it isn't about shrinking, it's about stepping fully into who you are, without apology. In this video, we're uncovering 5 transformative haircuts that do more than flatter. They lift your features, honor your wisdom, and restore that lightness in your step, without chasing youth. You're not here to erase the years. You're here to celebrate them. And unlike most of what's out there, this isn't fluff. You'll learn how certain cuts actually soften deeper lines, add lift to sagging features, and bring out your eyes and cheekbones even if your hair's gotten finer. We'll show you how to match your cut to your face shape, your lifestyle, and your spirit, not just what's trending. Here's what makes this different. We've gone beyond what others are saying. We've added missing layers, literally and figuratively. How color placement affects brightness for gray or silver hair. Which cuts pair best with glasses or hearing aids without getting in the way. What real women over 60 are saying about their glow-up cuts and how they feel now. So if you're tired of playing it safe with styles that drain your energy, if you're craving something fresh, but still you, stay with me, because in the next few minutes, you'll not only see what works, you'll understand why it works, and how to choose the version that fits your face, your season, and your story. And before we dive in, can I ask you something? Would you drop a quick comment below telling us where you're watching from? Not just so we know, but so other women can see this community is global. You might just inspire someone from your hometown, your country, or even your neighborhood to start her own transformation too. Also, tap subscribe if you're ready to feel aligned with the woman you are now, not the girl you used to be. Because what's coming isn't just about hair. It's about coming back to life in your own skin. Now let's begin with the first style. It's light, lifted, and quietly powerful. The kind of cut that brings back cheekbones you thought were gone, and energy you forgot you missed. Let me show you what happens when you go shorter. Not to hide, but to shine. Now, let's talk about the cut that's been quietly turning heads and lifting spirits. You know the one. It's short but not sharp, stylish but not screaming for attention. It says I've arrived, without ever raising its voice. Meet the side-swept pixie. Now before you imagine something severe or boyish, pause right there. This isn't the cropped cut from your niece's Instagram. This is soft power in hair form. It's the kind of cut that frames your eyes, lifts your cheekbones, and reveals the jawline you thought had packed up and left. So, why is this style finding its way onto women who once swore they'd never go short? Because it solves 3 problems in one elegant sweep. It removes the drag that long hair can have on a softening face. It adds volume where time has taken a little. And most importantly, it gives you back the spotlight. Think about it. Hair that's too long starts to weigh down not just your features, but your energy. It hides your neck, shadows your face, and clings when it should be floating. But the pixie, it's the opposite. It's light, lifted, and sculpted just enough to give structure without stiffness. Now let's add some real beauty science into the mix. When you remove length from fine or aging hair, you reduce the effect of gravity. That means the crown naturally lifts, the sides stop dragging down, and suddenly, your whole profile looks brighter. And styling? Let's just say this cut doesn't demand much. Run your fingers through with a little matte paste or texturizing spray. Give it a light tussle. You're out the door looking effortlessly polished in under 5 minutes. No hot tools, no heat damage, no fight with the mirror. Linda, one of our subscribers from Ontario, shared something beautiful. She said, I'd been wearing the same shoulder-length cut since '92. It was safe, familiar, and completely hiding my face. My granddaughter showed me a picture of a soft pixie with side-swept bangs and said, "Nana, this would be so you." I took the leap, and when I looked in the mirror, I saw cheekbones I hadn't seen in years. Now, pair this cut with a swipe of bold lipstick, maybe a pair of deep blue glasses or pearl drop earrings, and you've got elegance that doesn't ask for attention. It earns it. And the best part? This cut loves silver hair. It celebrates every shade of gray, white, or salt and pepper like a crown. Not a compromise. It's the kind of cut that grows out with grace. No awkward in-between stage. Just a softer version of strength. So let me ask you, have you ever wondered what you'd look like if you let go of just a few inches and a few old habits? What if you stopped trying to tame your hair into the shape it held 20 years ago and started choosing something that lifts with you, not against you? If the thought makes your heart beat just a little faster, that might be your sign. And if you're not quite ready to commit, don't worry, we've got more styles coming. Because next up, we're stepping into the quiet elegance of precision. A clean line that speaks volumes without ever raising its voice. There's a certain elegance that doesn't shout, it doesn't chase trends, it doesn't try too hard, and yet, when you walk past a mirror, you pause. Because it just works. Let's talk about the chin-length blunt cut. Clean, confident, quietly striking. If your current style feels like it's just hanging around, offering no real lift, no shape, and certainly no support to your face, it might be time to trade soft ends for sharper intention. One of the sneakiest ways hair changes over time is at the bottom. Even if your roots are strong, those ends can become thin, uneven, or stringy without warning. And when that happens, it's not just the hair that loses definition, it's the whole lower half of your face. This is where the blunt cut steps in. Not just as a haircut, but as a reset. Stopping just at or slightly below the chin, the blunt edge acts like a frame. A line of clarity that defines your jaw, lengthens your neck, and returns that sculpted feel that used to show up without effort. And no, this isn't about pretending you're 25 again. It's about creating balance between softness and structure, letting your natural shape shine without distractions pulling the eye downward. Here's the beauty of this look. It adds instant weight where you want it, at the ends, making your hair appear fuller, thicker, and more intentional. No flyaway finish, no see-through strands, just clean lines and quiet grace. If you're someone who loves simplicity, you'll fall in love with how little this cut demands. A quick blow dry with a round brush, curving the ends in slightly toward your chin, and you're done. Want more lift at the crown? Flip your part while drying, then flip it back. That little move alone adds instant body. Pair it with a sleek side part, a soft cream to smooth the top layer, and a pair of statement earrings, and suddenly, you're not just styled, you're polished. Julia, a retired art teacher from San Diego, told us about her experience after making the switch. I didn't even realize how uneven my hair had gotten over the years. I just kept trimming it here and there. But when I finally asked for a blunt cut with subtle layering underneath, something clicked. 2 days later, I was sitting at a cafe, and a woman leaned over and said, "You look incredibly put together." I hadn't even touched a brush that morning. That's the quiet magic of this cut. It makes you look like you planned it, even when you didn't. It plays well with blended highlights, silver strands, or natural grays. It loves glasses, whether bold or delicate, and never competes for attention. It just supports the frame of your face and the life you've built around it. This style is especially perfect for women who want a low-fuss routine, whether you're catching a train, packing for a weekend, or heading to your volunteer shift at 8 a.m. It travels well, grows out gracefully, and looks just as sharp with soft curls as it does with straight ends. So, here's the question. When was the last time your hair made you feel quietly powerful? Because coming up next is a style that does more than just lift your look. It gives you movement, bounce, and just the right amount of softness. And it might be the one you've been searching for without even knowing it. Some haircuts don't try to steal the spotlight. They just walk into a room, settle in, and glow. That's the energy of the soft layered bob. If your hair has started to feel heavy, even when it's clean and brushed, or if your face looks a bit more tired than it feels, you're not alone. For many women, it's not the makeup or sleep that's missing. It's the shape, the lift, the subtle framing that says, I still shine. That's where this bob comes in. Unlike blunt cuts that draw a line across the chin, this one floats just below it, hugging the face with gentle layers that move as you move. No harsh angles, no weight pulling you down, just softness that flatters every turn of the head. It's not dramatic, it's not loud, but it changes everything. The secret? Placement. Those layers don't sit randomly. They're cut to draw the eye upward. So even on days when you haven't slept well or skipped your routine, your reflection still gives back some light. This cut adds airiness, bounce, and that elusive sense of effortlessness. The kind that makes people say, she looks so refreshed, even if all you did was run your fingers through and walk out the door. And if you're wearing your natural gray or silver, even better. The layers catch the light beautifully, adding dimension without the need for constant color touch-ups. Prefer a little brightness? Subtle highlights woven through the front can add a soft halo effect without shouting for attention. Now let's talk styling. You don't need a cabinet full of tools. Just a light mousse or dry shampoo at the roots will give you enough volume to make the cut shine. A quick blow dry with a round brush or even an air dry with a light tussle is more than enough. Tuck one side behind your ear, add a small earring, and you're ready for brunch, errands, or a casual dinner without ever breaking a sweat. It's the cut that fits everything and demands nothing. You can wear it with glasses, with scarves, with a bare face, or a bold lip. It adapts, it flows, it supports your look without taking over the room. This bob is also incredibly flexible. Have a round face, the layers create length. Heart-shaped, they soften the cheeks. Fine hair, the movement gives you body without weight. Angela, a retired dance instructor from Queensland, said this cut made her feel like she was finally dancing with her reflection again. No tight curls, no heavy blowouts, just soft structure that moved with her, not against her. And here's the thing, if you've ever said, I want to change but not a drastic one, this might be your match. It's not a reinvention, it's a rediscovery. So tell me, does this feel like your kind of vibe? If so, drop the word Bob in the comments. You never know who else might read your note and feel inspired to try something new too. Now, if you've been holding on to length for a while, unsure if it still works for you, what's coming next might surprise you. Because there's a way to keep your long hair and still bring back shape, softness, and that feeling of lightness you've been missing. For some women, long hair isn't just a style, it's a signature, a comfort, a little piece of who they've always been. But as the years pass, even signature looks can start to lose their spark. The truth is, length without shape can begin to feel more like weight. It drags, it flattens, it blends into the background instead of lifting you forward. But what if you could keep your length and still bring back lightness, softness, and shape? That's exactly what long layers and curtain bangs can do. This isn't about letting go of your hair. It's about giving it room to move again. Layers cut strategically throughout the length reduce bulk without losing body. Instead of heavy and flat, your hair flows, bends, and lifts in all the right places. And the curtain bangs? That's where the magic starts. Parted just off-center or down the middle, these soft face-framing pieces sweep gently across the forehead, brushing the cheekbones and drawing attention to your eyes, not the lines above them. They're flattering without being fussy, feminine without being rigid, and they grow out like they were always part of the plan. No blunt lines, no awkward in-between. Susan, a retired interior designer from Vancouver, kept her long hair for years. It was part of her identity. But it had grown tired. Same part, same ponytail, same look. Her daughter suggested curtain bangs. Her stylist added long, airy layers. 3 weeks later, her granddaughter saw her across the room and whispered, "Grandma, you look like a movie star." Susan didn't change who she was. She just let her hair evolve with her. Now let's talk color. If you've embraced your natural silver or salt and pepper, long layers help catch the light and showcase those tones beautifully. The movement in the hair brings out brightness you don't always see when it's styled straight and heavy. If you've added soft highlights, Think ash pearl, champagne beige, or smoky blonde. These cuts let those shades shimmer naturally, especially around the face. Curtain bangs are the perfect frame for that glow. They soften your expression, reduce contrast, and allow light to land where it's most flattering. Styling doesn't have to be complicated. You can let your hair air dry for a natural wave. Add a few loose curls with a large barrel wand for a polished look, or simply flip it over your shoulder and walk outside. Let the wind do its thing. This style lives for movement. It works at weddings, at lunch with friends, on a walk to clear your mind. It doesn't need an occasion. It becomes the occasion. And the best part? It grows out gracefully. The layers stay soft, the bangs blend. You're never locked into constant upkeep. It looks lived in, not overdone. And that's what makes it so powerful. So let me ask you, do you still feel like long hair is part of who you are? But wish it had a little more life, a little more bounce, a little more you in it? If this style speaks to you, type layered in the comments. You might help another woman who's unsure whether it's time to let go or time to lean in and make it hers again. Now for those who do want a bit more edge, a little more playfulness without the structure of traditional cuts, what's coming next might just feel like that breath of freedom you didn't realize you needed. Let's go there. What we've noticed so far is that some styles behave, others play. And then there's the shag. It does both. If you've spent years in safe cuts that sit just right, behave in photos, and never ruffle a single feather, maybe it's time to try something that breathes, something with motion, something that reminds you what it felt like to flip your hair just because it felt good. The shoulder-length shag brings back that feeling. It's not the shag from decades ago, no feathered helmets or disco flashbacks. This version is reimagined. Breezy layers that fall gently around the face, soft movement through the ends, and curtain bangs that lift your features without taking over your forehead. It's light, it's lived in, and most of all, it's free. What makes this cut special is how it invites texture. Those tousled layers don't just look relaxed, they add volume in all the right spots. Even if your hairs become finer, these layers create space for air and bounce. The result? A cut that lifts, softens, and moves like you're walking through a slow breeze. Let's talk styling, because that's the beauty of it. If you've had enough of spending half your morning wrangling rollers or chasing symmetry, the shag was made for you. Here's your entire routine. Towel dry. A little salt spray. Scrunch. Done. Want a bit more polish? Blow dry with your hands or a diffuser. Skip the brush altogether if you like. The more imperfect it looks, the better it wears. And those curtain bangs, they're the secret weapon. Softly parted and feathered back, they guide attention toward the eyes and cheekbones. Not stiff, not sharp, just a graceful frame that always lands right where you want it. This cut is a dream for glasses, especially bold ones. It softens the lines around them and adds enough texture to keep everything balanced. Whether your hair is natural gray, blended with a little color, or you've gone full pearl white, the shag makes it shine. Movement catches light, and light gives life. Fran, a retired travel nurse from Brighton, made the switch 6 months after retiring. She told us, "I walked out of that salon and felt like wind had found its way back into my hair. I didn't need structure anymore. I needed joy." Now she wears it to the market, to lunch with her book club, and across Europe on her solo adventures. She said it best, "It just feels like me now, but lighter." This cut doesn't demand precision, it doesn't sit still, and it doesn't apologize for being fun. If you've been craving a little edge, a little swing, a little something, this might be your answer. It's for the woman who wants to look fresh, not fixed, alive, not arranged, effortless, not invisible. So, drop the word shag in the comments if this feels like your next adventure. And if enough of you ask, we'll break down a full styling guide for this look in the next video, with tips on how to wear it your way, not someone else's version. Now before we wrap up, there's something we need to say. Because what we've covered so far, these cuts, these transformations, it's not just about strands of hair, it's about something deeper, something every woman deserves to hear. Let's bring it all home. This journey we've just taken, it's not really about hair, is it? It's about standing in front of the mirror and seeing a woman who reflects how you feel, not how the world expects you to look. It's about matching your outside to the spark that's still very much alive inside. Whether it's a pixie that lifts your features and your mood, a soft bob that adds grace without effort, or layers that catch the light just right, it all comes back to the same truth. This isn't about chasing youth. It's about stepping into your strength with style that finally feels like you again. Every cut we've shared today isn't just about appearance. It's about ease, about letting go of old rules, outdated habits, and that quiet pressure to blend in. Because when your hair flows with your life, not against it, something shifts. You walk taller, you smile sooner. You recognize the woman in the reflection and think, yes, there she is. So if you're standing at the edge of a decision, wondering if it's time for a change, this is your gentle nudge. You don't need to go bold or drastic. You just need something that feels lighter, not just in length, but in energy. Because sometimes a few soft layers, a quiet fringe, even just reshaping the ends, is all it takes to feel miles more alive. Now I want to hear from you. Which of these cuts speaks to your story right now? Pixie? Bob? Layers? Drop your match in the comments. We're listening, and so are the women who might be walking this journey with you. And if just one of these styles made your heart flutter a little, or made you imagine your next reflection differently, tap the thumbs up. Let it show. There's so much more ahead and we're just getting started. Subscribe for timeless style, confidence boosters, and beauty advice made for the woman you are today, not the girl you used to be. One more thing. If you'd love to know the most flattering hair colors for silver strands and how to bring a natural glow to your face without a single swipe of makeup, type the word color in the comments. That next video may be exactly what your mirror's been waiting for. You've made it to the end, but the glow is just beginning. I'll see you in the next one.